Do you want to know what the keys are to financial independence? In this video, I'm going to be sharing that with you. Hi, I'm Camille Gaines. I'm a financial coach. I've personally been investing for over 30 years, and here I share what I've learned on that journey. You may have seen my other video in this series. I'm breaking this into 3 different videos. There are 12 steps to financial, or 12 keys to financial independence. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the second of those keys with you. The very first one I want to share in this video is simply to maximize your income. So many people feel like that they have to sort of accept what is expected from society, and they don't look at ways not only to maximize maybe job or career income, but they also don't think outside of the box as far as creating multiple income streams. This has worked really well for my husband and I. We started multiple income streams in late midlife, and we now have diversified income streams from online business, real estate, and also from investing that have really made a difference. And to me, maximizing your income almost always involves doing something besides just having career income or job income. Not only does it create more wealth, but it's a safety net. What if something happens to your job? You know, you've got other things going on that can protect you. And so it's super important to have not just the dependence on that one job income, because the company you work for could go under, anything could happen. So that's the first key to financial independence that I want to share in this video. The next key is to spend as little as possible on taxes. Taxes are the biggest expense that most people have. Now, one way to do this is, of course, by staying on top of, what possible write-offs are, completely legitimate write-offs are. There's some great books. It is important to always buy a current book on this, and because the rules change so much, and it seems that we just had quite a few big changes as I make this video. So it's super important to stay current on what is going on with taxes. While no, you're not meant to be a CPA, if you just have sort of an overview and you're aware of it, then you can do things that can lower your taxes. For example, tax loss harvesting. Harvesting is something that a lot of investors do near year end so that they can sell an investment at a loss. They're able to take that loss on their tax return, and then they can purchase a similar investment. So there are things like that, and if you're aware of them, then you can do it and you can lower your taxes. So if you don't know about it, then you're probably just not going to do it. So I highly recommend just a good basic book on how to save money on your taxes. And then, not to mention the fact that you've heard me talk about alternative income streams. Often alternative income streams come with tax benefits, whether that's investing in MLPs or REITs, or whether that's having your own small business or having rental properties that you rent yourself. So many of those things come with legitimate tax savings, so it's certainly worth exploring. The next key to financial freedom that I want to share with you, or financial independence, they're really interchangeable, in this video, is simply to consider longer term trends before investing in anything ever. So this is super, super important. When I look back over the 30 years that I've invested, this is one of the most important things. And, I bought my first condo when I was in my mid-20s because I really, really wanted a condo. And since then, I can't tell you what a roller coaster ride it was. It was in Houston, and there were times when that same condo was as cheap as $30,000, and other times when that condo went up to $100,000. And I paid around $60-something thousand for it. So wow, what a difference, right? And it's not because it depreciated in value. It was simply because of cycles. Now, Houston is very tied to the oil cycle, so that's a factor. But wherever you are, there's a good chance that things that you're invested in real estate wise are related to some other factor as well. And this isn't just for real estate. This of course applies to your home or any real estate rentals that you have or investments in real estate, but it also applies to the stock market, the bond market. Everything goes on sale, and that's the time when people want to buy it the least because it feels super, super scary. It's no longer popular as it is right now. You might notice that stocks are very, very popular at the time that I record this, but be aware of those cycles. It's about buying what's cheap, buying what's low price. That is a major key to financial independence because it's a way to accumulate and build more wealth without doing more work other than simply paying attention to it. And I suppose I was really influenced by this and aware of this because you may have seen in another video or read in my book that my dad purchased municipal bonds that were yielding up to 25% tax-free in the early 1980s. And he was simply aware of that trend. He saw that this was super, super cheap, and it really, really changed my parents' life. So I'm really, really big on this being one of the biggest keys to financial independence, is simply being aware of trends and factoring them into your investment decisions. And then the last key to financial independence that I want to share with you in this video is simply to have different types of investments. It's so easy to just put all your money into the stock market or even put all your money into stocks and bonds. But by having different types of investments, you can have things that at least stay stable. Ideally, you want investments that go up when others are going down, and that is just harder and harder to do. That's called non-correlated. But you can certainly have investments that hold their value while, the financial markets, for example, are going crazy. So, yeah. I mean, a common example is treasury bonds are thought to be very safe, and they often go up when the stock market is there's a lot of fear and the stock market is dropping, for example. Gold is another asset that sometimes moves counter to the stock market, but not always. So in 2008, in that huge correction or bear market, bigger than a correction, huge bear market, everything went down. And so everything is not always, it's hard to find things that move in opposite directions. But an example is we own real estate rentals, and during that time period, the rent checks kept coming in, right? Even though people were losing jobs there was a financial crisis going on. Our properties, while had we chosen to sell them, they would have dropped in value certainly, but we didn't, and those rent checks kept coming and they rebounded in value. Not only that, people are more likely to rent during bad economic times versus buying a home. So not to get into too much detail about that. That's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Those 4 keys to financial independence: maximizing your income, spending as little as possible on taxes, being aware of and factoring into trends when you make big purchases, and also having different types of investments so that you have some diversification. If you found this information helpful, you can check out the link below where I will share the whole list of keys to financial independence. And I'd love it if you'd like the video. It really means a lot to me. Thanks for watching.